All right, thanks everyone for joining. We have UCLA women's basketball media availability ahead of our road trip to Utah and Colorado. Utah first on Friday. Head coach Corey Close and Lauren Miller and Michaela Onyenwede. Coach, if you have anything you'd like to say first, feel free, and then we can open it up to questions.
I'll just, thank you all for being here and for telling these stories. I was actually talking to someone earlier today about just how important it is for us to be able to live well in this virtual space. And I've shared it with you all before, but, I just think it's really important for years to come that we handle this and tell these stories well. And you guys are what we need to make that happen. So thanks for being with us, and thanks for coming alongside our growth in this area.
Great. We can start off with questions. Dave, feel free.
Thanks, Ryan. Coach, you have talked a lot about establishing and maintaining a growth mindset. So I'm going to ask you two questions. The first one, which I'll be playing on Friday, is how do you feel your team has grown the most this season?
Well, that's really hard. I think that, I don't know if it's that they've grown the most, but I have really been impressed with their willingness to play out of a spirit of gratitude, to be willing to never complain about very inconvenient circumstances. I mean, this has been unlike anything they've ever experienced. I think just the purity of how they've embraced the challenges of this year and the purity of how much they enjoy the game. So in terms of just tactical growth, I think that I've been, most impressed with their ability to adapt in terms of this new offense a little bit and to integrate some different pieces. But honestly, I don't even think we've scratched the surface about how good we can be. I think our best growth days are actually ahead of us. I thought against Stanford was the first time I felt like we played with some offensive flow and some real consistent direction and purpose. And I think we've been a little bit up and down since then in terms of the offensive side. I definitely think we've been more consistent on the defensive side of the ball than we have the offensive side of the ball. But I have seen tremendous growth from beginning to end.
And part two of the question, what is the growth that you would like to see from now until the season winds down?
Well, you don't have enough time for that. But, I think this week, I'll tell you this week, I really want to see us be better passers, have better vision and awareness of what's happening around us. I'd like us to really have a way higher percentage of assisted baskets by what we do, making it easier for the people once they catch the ball, that they don't have to work so hard. Because what we've done before they catch it and the way that we pass, the way that we space, the way that we screen has created easier opportunities. I also want us to have a much play lower in our stances on defense. It's going to start with guarding by ourselves. And, we really did not do that as well as we wanted to last weekend. So I want us to see us respond in that area. I actually showed them a picture of another collegiate team and having them all sit in their stances. And I really challenged them that I want to have pictures of us sitting in our defensive stances, being really excited and prideful about how we play defense one-on-one next week. And then lastly, I think it's just really important for us to, I think play with incredible toughness. I don't think we're going to have Cameron back. So we need to just play through. Like, we can't be distracted by anything. We've got to have incredible toughness and togetherness. And I think we can take a step forward in that.
Thank you, Coach. I'll loop around for the players later.
Mm-hmm.
John, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I know in years past, you guys have experimented with some stuff before the mountain road trip with like beet juice and other like high altitude training. Is that still happening this year?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Yes, it is. We've been really upping our iron intake the last couple weeks, really. So our nutritionist has let us know like food specifically we can do that with, and we've also been taking more iron supplements. We've been enjoying the beet juice. They've experimented with some smoothies, but as Michaela has advised me, is just take it straight to the head and just take the juice in a shot for him. So yeah, definitely still doing that, trying to get that edge before we get there.
And then just kind of part two to that question for the players is what kind of makes it so difficult to play at Colorado and at Utah, even without fans?
I would definitely say, I mean, the altitude is probably a big factor. I mean, I'm from there, born and raised, and it's still really tough just for me even to go back. And so I think what we're doing right now as far as just preparing ourselves is really going to help us out, obviously, before we get there, and just are well adapted to the altitude.
Sue, do you have any questions, or should I circle back to Dave?
Yeah, why don't you circle and let me keep thinking for a sec.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
How come she gets to think and I don't? Michaela, always special for you going back to play at Colorado. It's different this year. You can't have everybody come and watch the game, but your thoughts about going back home?
I mean, like you said, yeah, it'll be really different just with not having my family and stuff there. But I know they're going to be watching the game anyway, so it's going to be okay. But I'm just super excited to be able to play a team like Colorado who's always really good, and also Utah as well, and just kind of challenge ourselves to get better and do better than we did probably last time we played Utah.
Lauren, I just want to talk to you about your assists this year. You have really become a great assist post. Is that something you've really worked on your game this year?
Yeah, I think I've always favored passing, probably more so than our coaches care for. But yeah, that's definitely probably one of my favorite parts of the game. I just like to keep my teammates involved and let my IQ get them in the places that they thrive best and find them and get them the shots. Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is Lauren is a point guard in a forward's body. And that is truly what I've admired about her game from the very first time that I've seen her play. And I don't want her to pass less. I want her to just think shot more, because it'll actually enhance what she's able to do off the pass. If she'll just, even if she's just being a good actress, but she is truly tremendous in this area. There's sometimes you say people are good, sometimes they're great. Like, I think this is her elite skill, that she's able to see the game in its entirety. She can anticipate plays. She knows how to set people up. She can do it. She can facilitate with her back to the basket as well as facing the basket. She can do it off the bounce. So it really is a tremendously elite skill. And as she does learn to, get scoring woven in there a little bit more, that elite skill will shine just that much more.
And I should note, Lauren is on pace to she's on double her rate of assists from last season through 14 games than she was through 31 games last year. So that's a note. Sue, anything?
Without Miss Onyenwere, without, being, I'm not trying to violate any confidences, but Coach Corey has said it publicly in press conferences that you haven't been healthy all year. So I don't want to know what that means. But what I do want to know is, how have you had to kind of bend your routine or bend your mind to go around that or go over that or persevere mentally, physically, all of the above? How have you had to kind of go outside your box this year and cope with all this stuff that's coming your way?
I think it helps to have just teammates who I'm really, really close with, who just keep me level-headed and are super fun off the court and on the court, just super fun to play with. And so, I mean, when things are happening in my life, like, it's okay to have that because I have the distraction of my teammates. So those things are going to happen as the season goes on, but I try not to think about them too much. And at the end of the day, I'm fine.
Okay, that's good. And then, Lauren, this is, by this time of the year, in any year, it's mid-February. Oh, everybody's a little bit tired. But how does it feel this year, considering, I mean, it's like a whole different thing. It's kind of like we were talking about egg whites, and now we're talking about whatever the opposite of egg whites is. It's not the same. How are you guys feeling this year as a team?
Yeah, we were even just talking about that in our leadership group it's been fun to see, like, I know from the outside, people are really looking, seeing like we have a thin roster, but I just feel like to us, like, it's just normal now. Like, and it's just our numbers. And I think we've gotten to the point where, like, complaining about it's not going to get us teammates. Like, it's not going to add people to the roster. And so I feel like we've done a good job just to manage the reality of what we have is what we have, and it's more than enough. And so just trying to charge ahead with that. But I think, like you said, like that fatigue part's going to always hit. But I think it's helped. Like this time last year, we were approaching the tournament being canceled. So I think it helps. We're trying to position ourselves just to be grateful that we're even playing, because a couple months ago, that's all we were begging for, was just a chance to play, to come back and be together. So I think just keeping that position of gratitude is helping as we kind of hit those walls.
That's true. It's all about perspective right now. People are just really grateful to be playing. Okay. And then this question is for both of you. I can't believe you guys are both seniors too. I'm just like, wow, are you serious? And so I've appreciated you both for 4 years, just to be on the record. I appreciate you guys both so much and what you've given to the UCLA program. So thank you for that. And then I saw the tweet yesterday that the seniors were conducting the Black History lesson. So I would like to know, is that just for the team? Are you planning on doing this in other areas? And I know you're talking about the Black sororities or whatever, but what have you done it before? Are you going to do it again? What other topics? Because Black history is one of my passion. I have a minor in Black studies, so it's one of my passionate points. So what was you talking about, and are you going to do it again? And I want to see it.
So last week, Charisma and Cam opened us up, and so they just kind of explained the start of Black History Month, and just like the personal impact of it. This week, me and Michaela did the Divine Nine. Next week, me and Michaela have Black Wall Street and the Tulsa Massacre. We're combining the two. And then the close, we're doing like a trivia, and then like also some like follow-up like links and different topics for like the girls to research on their own time. Yeah, we just decided like that was a big pillar of More Than a Dream, was the education piece. And we felt like what better time than Black History Month to really dig into some topics that the school curriculum is just never going to cover. So yeah, we haven't really thought about putting it anywhere. It's more so just like teaching our teammates and the staff.
And what about your dinner, Lauren? Or your movie night?
Yes, we're also having a movie night. Cameron's gonna make gumbo, since it's like a staple Black meal. And we're dabbling around the movie. We're thinking Just Mercy, but we might keep things light. We're gonna see how we feel. We're gonna pulse.
I know what you mean. There's certain movies you have to be like emotionally like, okay, I'm ready for it. But in some days it's like not. Okay, well, that's cool. I just was curious. I appreciate that. I was, if you ever wanted to put it on a channel, or if you ever were accepting Zoom guest visitors, please consider myself, because it would be fun to watch you guys teach a lesson. All that stuff.
Maybe we'll go live for next week. So we'll think about it.
Ooh, that would be dope. Okay. Yeah, you said it was the what were you doing? Not the Tuskegee. What did you just say you were doing next week?
Black Wall Street and the.
That's right. Yeah. I actually would like to know more about Black Wall Street. Okay, keep me in mind.
Gotcha.
Go back to Dave.
My question is going to sound so trivial after that, but I'm going to talk about Colorado. Coach Jalen Sherrod goes out. She's a driver. She clogs the middle. Then Frida Foreman starts hitting threes from the outside. How has the way you approach playing Colorado changed with that change?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I'm not even thinking about it too much, but I know you have to ask ahead. I think the reality is I've just started going into Colorado. I just finished Utah last night, and in terms of the preparation. But one of the things I'm noticing is that I think they're doing less ball watching. I actually think their chemistry maybe and efficiency has gotten better. I think they're doing more, getting more baskets out of teamwork instead of Sherrod just doing more things on her own or off the bounce. And obviously she's really good at that. But I think the way it's affected their entire team is I actually think they're playing more like a team, and they actually make it harder, to defend that. It's easier to defend one player, but a whole team that's playing in unison. So credit to them in the way that they've adjusted up to this point. And I think it's going to be really challenging. It may allow us to play some, to do some things a little bit different in the way that we usually have to guard and transition. And, but, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I actually been impressed with what I've seen from them so far and how they've adjusted.
Thanks, Coach.
Any other questions for Coach or the student athletes? All right, we can leave it at that then. Appreciate everyone, again, for taking time out of their Wednesday. We've done these we've done 10 or 15 of these now, and I'm really happy that we've managed to, keep these going and have regular media sessions. So I appreciate all the work that everyone puts in here. to join and to broadcast games and write stories, et cetera, and to coach in our student athletes as always.
And if there's anything else we can do to make them more helpful or beneficial, please let us know. Yeah,
always happy that feedback, especially. All right, so with that, I'll say have a great rest of your evening, and this recording will be where it normally is on our website. So
thanks everybody. Have a blessed evening. Take care.
Bye bye now.